Good morning. My name is Austin. I'm on staff here at Maddox Foundation, and today I have the pleasure of getting to talk with Executive Director Miss Marsha Brasher and the Marketing Public Relations Manager Miss Jamie and Miss Eloise Marlin, all there at Wesley Meadows. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Good. Well, definitely, we're so excited to learn a little bit more about Wesley Meadows, what you guys are doing, and how you're responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. And so, Marsha, why don't you tell us a little bit about Wesley Meadows and what it is that you guys do there?
Well, Wesley Meadows is an independent and assisted living facility that most people know that about Wesley Meadows, but our mission here is to serve older adults in the spirit of Christian love. And we value our older adults more than anybody could ever understand or know. I mean, just like today, we've lost one of our loved ones this morning. We're all just really, upset and because they become part of our family. And I do think that's what makes Wesley Meadows different is, every one of these older adults are part of our family. And being nonprofit, we don't focus on making a profit. We focus on our residents, and our residents have a voice here. And they, so what we do here is driven by them. And I could go into all of the independent and assisted living, what all of that means, but I think what's most important is how we treat our elders here. And we truly love them and care about them and really want what's best for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the few interactions that I've had with you guys, specifically, it comes to mind, talking about just wanting to care for the seniors. When we came to Wesley Meadows for our grant announcement that, we were making the matching grant of the $1 million for the Dan and Margaret Maddox greenhouse, which we'll talk a little bit more about here in a second. There was a resident who stood up and she said, well, I'm already prepared to give this much money to be matched. And I think that really just spoke volumes to you guys that, that was their family, that was, their home, and that they were willing to invest their own money into making sure that it was great for others and for everyone else around. And so I think that speaks volumes to you guys. And then we were fortunate enough to also come back over the Christmas holiday and judge the hallways. And you guys had everybody decorate a little corner of the building of the housing areas, and just seeing everybody and how much they enjoyed that and how much work and effort they put into it was just a lot of fun. And I love what you pointed out there, that you guys are a non-for-profit, so you're not worried about the other typical things of a for-profit, senior living home or of a government-run senior home. You guys are able to focus on the quality of life and the care that you're offering to your residents. And so that's incredible. And Marsha, why don't you, for those who don't know about the Margaret and Dan Maddox greenhouse, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I want to first start off and say that the greenhouse that we're talking about here is not a greenhouse that people typically think of. You think of a greenhouse as a place you put plants.
Yep.
Well, plants thrive and they grow well in a greenhouse. Okay. So we're doing it's a compassionate approach to living with memory care, and that is in an assisted living greenhouse. It's a place for persons to grow. Okay, it's not a place for folks who are living with forgetfulness to go and die. It's a place for them to continue to grow and to thrive. And so it's been such a blessing that the Maddox Foundation was able to donate these funds to help us get this started. It's been a dream of ours for several years. And it's something that Wesley Meadows really needs here. We want to make sure that folks are safe, but we also want to give them the best living experience they can have, living with forgetfulness.
Absolutely. And the term greenhouse that typically does think of, plants and botany, and here we are talking about memory loss and dementia, and the whole concept of it is, very innovative. It's very cutting edge. And so, we're just excited that you guys get to be somewhat on the front end of that, that there's a few others that already have this and that we've seen have been very successful in helping those people. And now we get to bring it to our own community with you guys. And of course, the $1 million matching grant, you guys have already met the $500,000 to actually build it in construction. My understanding is has already started. Is that correct?
Yes, it has. We broke ground 2 weeks ago, and so if it will quit raining, we will hopefully see a building start going up soon. But it's awesome. Everybody's been asking, with the quarantine and that kind of thing, we have people call and say, "Oh, I see that you're starting, you've already started groundbreaking and that kind of thing." So it's really exciting for all of us. So
yeah, absolutely. And the other, half of that million, the other 500,000 was for an endowment that was going to help take care of the maintenance of the buildings over the years to make sure that it stays, a state of the art building and in a top-notch state for all of its residents, and definitely still accepting donations for that so that can be fully matched. And then Miss Eloise, I have a couple of questions for you about some things going on there for you.
It's been wonderful for me. This has been a blessing for me to be here. This is a wonderful place. The staff is great. It's like I say, it's been a blessing doing all this.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now that, the COVID-19, the pandemic has come, I know things have changed pretty drastically there. What does a normal day for you look like right now?
Well, it's pretty normal. I miss my family. But other than that, I make myself get out and do things. And it's been okay.
Yeah. What would you say is, has probably affected you the most?
I think my grandkids not being able to hug them. I think that's been the worst part.
Yeah. Are you still able to video chat with them, or how are you staying in contact with your family?
They FaceTime me just about every night, and I talk to them. And then Sundays, I got to come down and I visited with them. I was inside, they were outside. I didn't get to hug them, but it was still wonderful for us.
Yeah.
We do porch visits. Yeah. So the resident gets to stay on the inside of the porch, and the family can sit outside with, through the window and talk with them and that kind of thing. So
yeah.
We're trying our very best to make sure that they are staying as much contact with family as possible.
For sure. That's so important. Isolation is, very, in this case, healthy for us, and the fact that it's keeping us from getting sick. But it's important to still remain connected through the different avenues so that, mentally and emotionally, we're all taken care of as well. And so thank you guys for doing that and thinking of that. Miss Eloise, what's been your favorite thing to do to help keep you busy?
Well, we've been playing games, and we still play bingo upstairs, 6 feet apart. And I'm walking 2 miles a day, so that's really helping me.
Yeah, awesome. And what would you say has probably been the most joyful thing, or the thing that's brought you the most joy during this time?
Well, everything's a joy to me, so I'm just blessed in every way I can be. So I'm just thankful that I'm here, and I'm grateful for the greenhouse because my husband died with dementia. So this has been really nice for me. So I'm glad to be here.
Okay, and I'm sorry to hear that. And sounds like they are doing a great job at taking care of you and making sure that you're okay. And so, Jamie, why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of what you guys are doing to help all the residents and keep them busy and occupied during this time?
Well, as you may know, Austin, we're an extremely active community before all this started. So as a staff, we met and tried to figure out ways that we could still implement those activities and keeping our folks as active as possible. So Ms. Eloise mentioned that we're doing hallway bingo. That's kind of been kind of funny to watch transition. We pick a hallway every day and we go down and we yell out bingo. And they sit in their doorways in their chairs. We have implemented Bible study every day still. We do that in the hallways. A lot of our activities, we've just transitioned to a smaller setting. where we're 6 feet apart. Of course, we're still having, we have a beautiful courtyard here, and we're able to have parties that we can sit them 6 feet apart outside in the sunshine. And so that's been great. We've had a lot of, I guess, unique, different parties. We've done dancing down the hallways. They've flown kites down the hallways. Singing. We had singing down the hallway. Anything that we've done as far as activities, we've just tried to implement in a smaller hallway at a time setting. So it does take much longer to do those things, but it still allows them to have a normal sense of where they're at in our family and how we're doing things.
I see. That's awesome. And so how has this affected kind of the daily operations of Wesley Meadows? I know you guys have a lot of volunteers that come by and help, and obviously there's still a lot of needs there. So talk to us a little bit more about that.
Well, we have always relied on, in our 20-plus year history, heavily on volunteers being nonprofit to be able to come into our building and be able to facilitate activities or help us do certain things. The great thing is, with that 20-plus year history, we have still been blessed with volunteers. They just are bringing cleaning supplies, and they're bringing snack supplies every day. We pass out a newsletter and a little game packet and a devotional and a snack. So our volunteers have been able to drop those items off. We haven't been able to have them physically in-house, but the amount of love that has been shown to this community, it's actually surpassed where we thought it was, even though they can't come in. And our residents feel that. We've had churches that have done, the volunteers have come in and done parades for our residents, and they do devotionals and praise and worship outside. 120 Easter baskets were dropped off by another church.
Wow.
It's just amazing the amount of love that has been shown to our family and to our staff, because it's made it harder on us as a staff, because those volunteers that we rely on that kind of help and kind of hold hands and do it together. But the encouragement from them has helped us to be able to continue on with that. So.
Yeah, that's great. And so what are some of y'all's biggest needs at the moment?
Well, probably the thing that the residents enjoy the most is goodie bags. Food items like chips and stuff like that. We're able to purchase some of that and get that for them, but it's been very nice for outside organizations like the Psalms 21 ministry came in and donated bags that had devotional books and a blanket and chapstick and a goodie bag and that kind of thing. And it's just been, it's those kind of things that, even just cards, Mother's Day cards and letters, just to keep our residents encouraged. And they've also done things for the staff, which has been awesome, because our staff has just stepped up and they have been absolutely amazing. So, we try our best. If there's any need that we can't meet, I know originally we were having trouble finding Clorox wipes and stuff like that in the very beginning. And Jamie put something out on Facebook, and the next thing we knew, we had more than we could use for a while. So the community has just been awesome to us. I mean, we've had everything from hand sanitizer donated to these masks. I mean, it's amazing. But goodie bags and encouraging notes and letters. We even had a church who made signs. I don't even know how many signs they made.
Over 120 signs.
But we had signs everywhere. It was very, that residents could see outside their windows that were just encouraging verses or scripture, or, just to say, and you are loved. We've been overwhelmed with how much support our community has given us. And, anything that, we called out to pastors and asked pastors to provide us with devotionals every day. So we make sure we're trying to meet their spiritual needs.
Right.
So we've had that done. So as far as needs go, I think we're doing pretty well on everything. But if someone wants to donate goodie bags and stuff like that, stuff for bingo, because we are having to do a lot more activities that, like that requires more stuff, but we're handling that. But it is nice when we get more items.
Okay.
So,
If someone were, wanting to do something like that of, writing letters or putting together goodie bags, donating prizes, how would they need to go about doing that and setting that up?
they can make it up as long as we get 110. We'll definitely, we have some rooms that have couples in it and that kind of thing. And so if we had 110 of anything, whether it's goodie bags or prizes or whatever, and if you can't do 110 of them, what we do is we just gather that stuff together, and on one day we just pass out kind of all different items, just whatever someone needs.
Yeah.
And then just dropping it off at the main office here. Of course, we are on complete lockdown, so you're able to come in through the barricades just to drop items off. But everything that's dropped off is completely sanitized outside and sits for a while in the sunshine until it can kind of, de-germ, and then we bring it in and hand those items out. So
Awesome.
One of the big things for me, Austin, was we had a parade. It was a church parade on Sunday. It was wonderful. They preached, they sung, they waved at us through the car windows. It was just amazing.
Yeah, and we're big gardeners here too, and they also brought everyone potted plants.
Yes, it was awesome.
And so that was an encouragement, because a lot of our families haven't been able to get potted plants in, and because we have gardens all over Wesley Meadows. So
Yes, you guys do, especially there in that courtyard area there in the middle. There's all sorts of plants and things growing. So, well, awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys so much and all the work that you're doing, to take care of our most vulnerable citizens during this time. And definitely, if anyone has any questions or more information, how should they go about contacting you guys?
they can just call our main office, and the number is 662-429-2070. Give us a call, and we will be glad to. Any of us will be glad to speak to you. If you'd like to donate, or you have questions about our facility or whatever, we'll be glad to talk to you. And I just want everyone to know it is a privilege to serve our residents here.
Absolutely.
And we love them, and we just want everybody to know that they're on our hearts and minds all the time.
And that's absolutely true. Because I love this place.
Yes, absolutely. And it shows in the great work that you guys are doing. And just like Ms. Eloise said, when your residents are willing to speak up and say that, it speaks volumes. And so thank you guys so much for that. Definitely we'll be in touch soon, and definitely keep up the great work. And hopefully more people will be involved to help meet some of those needs for you guys.
And Austin, I want to, make sure that the Maddox Foundation knows how much we appreciate everything you've done for us also.
Absolutely. And we are happy to do it and happy to play our part. And so thank you for allowing us to do that. So thanks. You guys have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.